What's up, everybody? Early Stoppage MMA here. Today we're going to be going through the UFC 321 card that is taking place this weekend in Abu Dhabi. Let's just jump into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So starting off the card, we got a light heavyweight bout between Alexander Rakic and Azmat Murzanikov. Jesus Christ, I almost threw that pronunciation away completely. Who do you have in this one?
This is going to be an interesting fight. Rakic, we've seen be very hit or miss.
Yeah.
And I think with that on the table, I think I'm going to take Murzakanov.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything that Murzakanov has, looked bad. Obviously he's undefeated.
Yeah.
There's been a couple questions, I feel like, with his cardio, but that's really it.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, he's passed every test that he's had to face, and Rakic has not looked very good, straight up, recently. I mean, he had that good performance against Yuri off that huge layoff, which was really weird to see because since then, his fight against Magomed Ankalaev, he looked terrible. He did not have whatever he did against Yuri at all.
No.
So it's a bit weird. I just haven't seen anything from Rakic that's made me believe that he's going to be the guy to get this done, I don't think.
No, and giving him some credit, Ankalaev went on to win the belt.
For sure.
And that is kind of a weird fight that we've seen. Like unless you do exactly what Pereira did and just hunt him down and knock him out, it's gonna be very hard to beat Ankalaev.
For sure.
And Rakic is kind of like he fights exactly how Pereira fought in the first fight, and that's just like his entire style, like kind of slow, rangy, looking for big shots, and that is the worst thing that you can do against Ankalaev. Yeah. But he looked good whenever when he was in the pocket with Yuri and almost KO'd him, and then obviously we all know what happened when Yuri came back. He just pulled a Yuri. But dude, the height advantage is no joke here, bro. The height advantage is like 6 inches. Murzakanov only 5'10", it says.
Oh yeah, he's a smaller guy. Smaller is probably not the right word. He's pretty big, but like shorter for the division. Yeah, I think he gets it done though. I mean, he's
I do too.
He's proven to be pretty good, pretty well-rounded. He's got decent power. Like he just has all the makings of a guy who's going to continue to be undefeated, at least for a while. I think Rakic is not going to be the test that stops him.
I think that this will be maybe the test to get into that, into the elite at 205, because we know 205 is very top heavy.
Oh yeah,
and he hasn't really fought anybody crazy high.
Yeah,
on the list. He fought our guy Devin Clark.
He did.
Is kind of a big deal, but no, I think after Rakic it's going to get a lot harder for Murzakanov. Just not that he isn't good, but just the range and the size difference alone is going to be kind of an uphill battle for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here for sure. Do you want to take the next fight?
Dude, yes.
I figured.
We got Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. We are finally getting the heavyweight fights that we've been needing for the past, year or whatever it's been since John Jones. This is going to be amazing.
This is going to be a good fight.
I'm really excited about this one. We've seen Volkov kind of take a step up in the ground game, and he's going to have to against Almeida.
Yeah.
But we've also seen Almeida look really good. Like we obviously the issue with Curtis Blades, the incident I should say with Curtis Blades is kind of a weird one. Which is, I mean, it's heavyweight. That's kind of what happens. But Volkov is coming off of the also odd decision against Gane, who I personally think Volkov should be fighting in the main event.
100%. He absolutely should be. That's the elephant in the room, I feel like, with this card.
Yeah, we need to talk about this. And it's going to be I wonder how the tensions are going to be, for the rest of this week at the time we're recording here.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the odds are on this, but I'm leaning Volkov. I think that, we've seen a step up in Volkov in the last couple of fights where I think a lot of people picked him or picked Pavlovich to beat him, and then he just beat on Pavlovich and then went on to fight Gane. And I think that obviously he won that fight, and that was another fight where people were pretty much picking Gane. So I'm going to stick on the train, the Volkov train, and not that I don't like Almeida, but I just really like Volkov, to be honest.
Yeah, I think. Again, Almeida's one loss against Blades is kind of a weird one because there's so many narratives around it. It could have been questionable fight IQ. There's also people that say like his hands got stuck when he was going for the double leg. Curtis Blades postured up and just held his arms against the fence, Who knows if that is true? I don't know. Definitely should have let go if he could have. But I think that
Yeah.
by and large, the fact that he was still basically dominating Curtis Blades for an entire round before that KO
Yep.
is pretty insane. I think this dude is incredibly talented. We've seen it. And not only that, but he has power in the hands and decent striking, which we saw in his last fight where he fucked up. Was it Spivak? I'm pretty sure that's who his last fight was.
I think it was Spivak. Yeah.
Yeah. He looked pretty good in there. I think it's hard for me. I think this is definitely a closer fight than Almeida would have against pretty much anyone else in the division except Tom.
Yeah.
Just because Volkov's game planning has been top notch for his last 3 fights. So
Yeah.
it could come down to a battle of the IQ, and if that's the case, Volkov obviously takes it. But I'm gonna play it safe and just say that Jailton Almeida's pressure and wrestling and cardio is just going to be too much for Volkov. I think it'll be easier too for Jailton Almeida. Like sometimes with stronger guys or taller guys, it's hard. It's hard to deal with them on the ground, but it also makes it easier to take them down. You know, and I think that Almeida being shorter already at heavyweight, he's just going to be able to shoot in and take Volkov down pretty easily and just hold him there. Would be my guess. I don't think Volkov gets finished, but
No, I think if anybody gets finished here, I think Volkov could finish Almeida.
Yeah,
maybe on the feet, but that's a very. I think that this is kind of a decision heavyweight fight, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah,
because well, let me rephrase this: anybody could get finished. It's heavyweight, but in this fight, I think it's just like stylistically and just the technicality that's going to go into this fight is it's probably not going to be a lot of big risk on either side.
No.
I do want to throw one thing out because you just said it and it kind of made me maybe reminisce on how I felt about this. Anybody, and I'm not knocking you here, I don't know how you feel, but anyone who just thinks that Jailton Almeida got knocked out by Curtis Blades due to low fight IQ is I don't like that idea. As if he's just like cool with getting his head smashed in with elbows.
Yeah.
Like I think it's very obvious that if he could have blocked him, he would have. I think that there should be some credit put onto Curtis Blades there. That there's no way that Jailton Almeida was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat 12 elbows right now. I hate that idea because I've heard a lot of people being like, why would he just leave his head there?
Yeah,
he did not want to do that. No. There's no way he just wanted to leave his head there.
Yeah, that's just the narrative, I think, because that's how it looked. But like he said, and like some other people have said, they think that his head or that his hands were trapped behind Blades, which would make way more sense because why would you just sit there and get elbowed to smithereens?
If you lock your hands on a double leg like that, you're gonna. And then on the fence too, I'm sure that Blades was holding those hands on the fence and was like, "All right, well, your head's right here." Yeah. I just hate the idea. I'm not saying that you said it or anything, but you brought it up that it's just a low fight IQ. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
This is a good one.
I think it's going to come down to Volkov's jiu-jitsu, honest to God.
And I think that we've seen a massive step up in the last few fights.
Completely
especially
agree.
That Gane fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool one. So, moving on from there, we've got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista in the featured bout of this card. This is a really weird one because this is such a high-level matchup that should have so many nuances and so many things to say about it, but to be honest with you, I have pretty much nothing to say about this fight.
This is kind of a weird one. I think that it's kind of getting the Mario Batista effect where it's just like, I don't really care that much. And the hate that everyone has for Mario Batista, like a lot of people are probably really excited to see him fight Umar, but I don't think it's as close as some people think it is. I'm picking Umar, I will say. But I think that there's going to be moments in this fight where we're going to really be questioning, like, holy smokes. Like, what is Mario that good? And we've kind of both been on the track where, like, we don't necessarily like Mario Batista, but we give him a little bit of respect for just, like, we're talking about fight IQ. Mario Batista has fight IQ. Like, this guy just has the ability somehow to just withstand whatever's going on and move. Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun to watch, I think. Not fun, but it's been interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a fun fight where I think we're going to see Umar rely more on his grappling because I think we've seen him try to be more of a striker, and that's where he lost to Merab. So I think that we're going to see a lot of grappling in this fight, and I think Umar's probably just going to smudge him and win. Yeah,
it's a weird one. When it first got announced, my gut instinct honestly was like, fucking Mario Batista. Just like split second instincts, I was like, I could totally see Mario Batista just just wet blanketing Umar against the fence, not even on the ground, just holding him against the fence and just cardio mogging him for like 3 rounds. But then I came back down to reality and I'm like, no, Umar had a competitive fight with Merab. Like he beat Sandhagen. He's looked pretty fucking good. And Mario Batista has looked good in his last fights, but his last 2 fights have been fucking Patchy Mix, who we know is terrible now. Not even just bad, but like not good at all. So of course he fucking dominated him. He should have. And then Jose Aldo, who love Aldo, not the best version of Aldo, even close. So,
well, and debatably he lost to Aldo.
Yeah, honestly. That too. So I just think it's one of those like there is something to be said about like Mario Batista is talented and his ability to it sucks to watch, but his ability to just shut down people's games is so good. Like he can just dampen anybody's shit that they've got going on so well. So I don't and like is he going to be able to do that against Umar? I don't think so. So I'm also picking Umar.
I think at the base of this fight, right? Like if it stays on the feet, I think Mario has a very possible chance of winning this fight. Just like you said, it's kind of like smudging on the fence, just kind of not necessarily aggressing, but just neutralizing what Umar can do.
Yep.
But the fact like Umar has one thing that we haven't seen in Patchy Mix or in Jose Aldo, which I kind of think are Mario's best wins for sure.
Oh yeah.
Where Umar is very elite on the ground. You know, obviously we don't need to discuss that really, but I think that threat against Mario is going to kind of stop him. But I am curious. I wonder if Mario's still going to be still be the aggressor. You know, in his last couple of fights, he's been the guy kind of just walking people down. And I wonder if he's going to be the aggressor against Umar, if he's going to worry a lot about that takedown.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions here because, you know, he can't use the same game plan he's been using against most people. Or maybe he can, I don't really know. But, like, perceivably, like, he can't use that game plan against Umar. Because he hasn't faced anyone that's as elite of a grappler. It just hasn't been the case. And it has that level of, like, awareness of balance and position and shit like that. And that's where Mario Batista really succeeds. For the most part, is that and or mixing it up. And Umar is just going to be able to do that better, probably. So, yeah. Interesting fight. I'm excited to watch it and see how it turns out, honestly. But it is a weird one where it's like, how do you analyze it beyond just like, well, this is it?
Yeah. No, I think, we're kind of pulling at strings here on what to say about this fight. I think we're both kind of in the same boat where it's it's a fight. I do want to pull out one thing that if Mario Batista finds a way to win this fight, we're going to have a real issue on our hands.
Yeah.
This guy has plot armor to the max if he pulls this fight off. Like Merab has a real challenge. So it's going to be fun. I'm curious.
We're about to see if he wins this fight and he does it the way we all think he's going to. Congratulations, Bantamweight. You have your Mavzar. You have this guy who will always be the title challenger but never actually get the fight.
Bro, yeah. Do you think that they could even pull off doing a Merab Mario Batista matchup?
No.
It would have to be on like a huge card.
White House
card. Like UFC. Like no, it'd have to be like UFC 400, and it'll be like the featured fight. It won't even be co-main or nothing.
Yeah,
they're just gonna pull that like all the way. That might be on the prelim.
Yeah, probably.
Our co-main is an interesting fight. I think
it is.
What do you think about this one? Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern.
Oh, I don't have a lot of thoughts.
For the title here.
Yeah, this is clearly like to Verna Jandiroba's credit, she is the obvious next challenger for this title. But it's just the fact that Weili's gone. They gave it to Mackenzie Dern, and it's like, gee, I wonder why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all know why they get it to Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, they're busting out the aerial cam, which is fine. And Mackenzie Dern honestly is good, all things considered. She's a great fighter, but it is just kind of like unfortunate circumstances where like now that Weili's gone, this exciting prospect and person, like these two aren't exactly having barn burner fights. And
both of these women are number 2. Like, let's be honest, this is not who really deserves the belt. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a weird situation where after Weili, there's such a big drop off.
Yes.
Where I think that I agree with you that Verna Jandiroba is the obvious number one contender, and I'll go and throw it out there. I'm picking her to win this fight. I don't know if I've seen enough from Mackenzie Dern to think that she's like that like. There's just no world that I imagine Mackenzie Dern having a belt, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine it.
No,
I
agree with you because like I'm also picking Verna Jandiroba because like Mackenzie Dern is again not bad, but she hasn't given us anything to make us think like this is a champion. Whereas Verna Jandiroba is like there is that effect of like if she was fighting Whaley, it's like oh new matchup, somebody that's on a pretty good run and that has really good grappling. Like this could be a problem for Whaley. It's a semi interesting matchup with some questions. Yeah. That if they booked Mackenzie Dern versus Whaley, no, bro.
That would be insane.
No, bro. No one is under any delusion of how that's gonna go.
Yeah. No, I think we all know exactly how that would go. And I do kind of like the hypothetical matchup of Jandiroba versus Whaley a lot more. That's a way more interesting fight, but I think still like it's still an obvious pick for me to pick Whaley.
I agree.
So I don't really have anything else to say about this fight other than it's kind of like it just feels like an interim belt, but it's not. Yeah. So it just feels really weird.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited for it. There's no other way to put it. Kudos to both. Like they're both deserving of the title for the most part. Now that it's vacant, it's just not that exciting. Like they kind of need to make a name for themselves, and if they did that, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but that needs to happen first.
It'd be cool to see either one of them win a belt. I like them both, so I don't.
Yeah,
it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
The main event though.
The
main event, bro. Get us to the main event.
Oh, the main event of the evening. Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. After over 400 days away from the octagon, Tom Aspinall is finally back. He's finally defending his belt. John Jones got off the fucking pot, and we can move on with our lives. It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's a good time, dude. I've been pumped for this fight for so long.
Me too.
I mean, you know how I feel about heavyweight.
Me too.
And just like this card is I love it. I love everything about this card. I'm very excited for this fight. I am curious. I'm not gonna make my pick. I think we both are gonna pick the same person here. But do you know why I'm seeing so many people pick Ciryl Gane? Like, is there something that I'm in that I'm not in the know of? Why are there so many people thinking that Ciryl Gane can do this all of a sudden?
I was gonna jokingly be like, I'm picking Gane and listen to you freak out, but I'm not gonna do that because it's like, I think what's happening is, honest to God, like when this fight got announced, there was a part of me that thought it would be so UFC of Gane to beat Tom Aspinall. You know what I mean? And I don't know if people are thinking the same thing, where it's like you could just see like this exciting potential heavyweight GOAT in action who's looked unstoppable and so good, and Ciryl fucking Gane is the guy that just beats him for some reason. That would be so on brand for the UFC.
That would suck. I won't lie to you. I think that there's a little bit too of the people that we're seeing pick Gane. I think that maybe they're having a little bit of like they're just kind of forgetting about Tom Aspinall, because remember when this guy beat Pavlovich to get that belt, we were like, holy shit, dude, nobody's beating this guy. And I think I still see a lot of people being like, no, Aspinall, like I know you for sure, Aspinall is like the guy. I don't think, and for me too, I don't think there's a heavyweight on the roster right now that could beat Aspinall.
No.
It's obviously heavyweight, but I should say I don't think there's a guy as talented as Aspinall on the roster right now.
Yeah.
And no, go ahead.
No, I have watched Tom Aspinall's entire rise. I've been very high on Tom Aspinall. I was that guy in the fucking hanging out with my friends who was like, dude, Tom Aspinall is going to be the guy to fucking take the belt off John Jones, back when he fucking won it off Ciryl Gane in that vacant title fight. Just completely delusional. Tom looked good, but I had no reason to have that level of confidence. It was very cool to see it actually manifest, though, and Tom to be that good. I think part of the problem and part of the reason I think a lot of people will pick Ciryl Gane is because Tom is so good that we don't know a lot about him. And he knows that too. He's even said it. Like his fight times are so short. He shows off so little of his game that like we don't know we don't know if he has good cardio. We don't know like all these so different things about it. We don't know how he faces against like a full on very good grappler. Like we have no clue. So
that's a good point. Well, Ciryl Gane is not a full on amazing grappler.
No, and that's just I agree with you.
I'm picking Aspinall.
Oh, me too.
I think we're both on agreement here. But I do think this is the hardest fight at heavyweight for him. I think Ciryl Gane is very good. I do kind of understand, and I kind of understand the hate on Ciryl Gane
Yeah.
because this dude just fights for titles for some reason.
Yep.
um, and I don't see a way that Ciryl Gane beats him. I don't think he's better on the ground. I think Aspinall has a
Yeah.
huge advantage on the ground. I
Yep.
think Aspinall has more power. I think he's a better striker.
Agreed.
But there's certainly, like you said, the questions to be answered about Aspinall.
Yep.
To where, how does the cardio look? I do think that this round gets out of the. Or I do think this fight gets out of the first round, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It totally couldn't too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this goes the distance. I
No.
think one of these guys will get knocked out. The way that Aspinall fights is he opens himself up to get hit, but you just have to, he obviously has a good chin. He ate the shots Pavlovich hit him with.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ciryl Gane hits nearly as hard as Pavlovich.
No.
So
yeah,
we'll see how Ciryl Gane looks. I guess
Yeah.
I'm very interested about this fight.
Yeah.
Because it could go one of two ways, where either Aspinall goes out and knocks him out in 40 seconds, or we're gonna get a hard war for about 10 minutes, and then one of these guys is gonna go out.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off you too. Yeah, I'm gonna give Ciryl Gane his flowers. I think that a lot of the hate that Ciryl Gane gets is overblown. There are justifiable reasons not to like him, but like the dude is very good. The dude is good at his game. He is improving. The reality of it is, in the Volkov fight, he did break his foot. Like, it verified, we know that he broke his foot, which probably affected his performance a little bit. His takedown defense has been getting better. I still don't think it's good, or it's going to prevent like Tom Aspinall. Like, I'm going to pick Tom by first round submission. I think he's going to follow the Jones game plan and just get Gane down, and he just has better control from what we've seen, and danger and submission wise, that like I think he'll do better than Volkov did grappling wise. And he's more explosive and fast. So, but Ciryl Gane, I mean, great footwork, great striking. You're so right though, he doesn't quite have the power that really fucks people up. He needs to land multiple like successive shots to take someone down, and I think that Tom Aspinall, at the very least, his head movement and his footwork is good enough that he'll get out of the way of after the first hit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I favor Tom Aspinall for sure. I'm going to pick him by first round submission. I think he's going to use his grappling. I think he would be smart to use his grappling. Not that he can't strike with Gane. I think he totally could, but Gane is good. I mean, his footwork is good. His distance management is pretty fucking good. It's just his grappling that really is where his hole is. So
yeah, I think that if there's a way for Gane to win this fight, it would be, and I hate to say this about fights, but it would almost have to be what I would say a mistake by Aspinall, where Aspinall would have to kind of fight into the game plan of Ciryl Gane.
Yep.
And I don't think Aspinall will do that.
No.
I also want to throw it out there that I think that the chances of Ciryl Gane winning this fight continuously go up the longer the fight goes on. Yeah. Which I've said before, like when Aspinall fought Blades in London, I said the same thing. I was like, oh, dude, Blades, we're sleeping on Blades here. I ended up eating my words about that. That kind of sucked. But
yeah.
No, I think that the longer that Ciryl Gane, and maybe this is obvious, but something in my head, it just feels like it needs to be said, that the longer this fight goes on, the higher chance Ciryl Gane has of winning.
Yeah.
So Ciryl Gane needs to survive. And I'm curious, like how you said that it could be a first round submission. That is an interesting take. I totally could see it. I agree that Tom Aspinall has a massive advantage on the ground, but I almost wonder if Tom Aspinall has something, like he definitely is coming with something to prove in this fight after all the issues he's faced with John Jones and then dealing with all this stuff and then finally getting the belt, but never, so I think he's going to have something to prove where he's going to look for the finish right away. And I think that if he doesn't find it in the first couple of minutes, then we can see the ground game start to come in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see how it goes. It's just such a good matchup, and it's so good to see the division moving on, and like Tom Aspinall promising to be a active heavyweight champion is so nice. It's gonna be good moving forward. I'm excited to see how it goes down. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this card.
Yeah, UFC 321 going down this weekend. Let us know your picks in the comments.
Yeah,
if we're crazy, let us know, dude. For real, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We finally get some heavyweights on this fight. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Peace
That's
out.
all I got. Peace.